All right, packed weekend, y'all, with so much hoops. We have so much to discuss, so it feels like a good time to play a little round of something, nothing, or everything. Let's start with the Pelicans, because they have not quite lived up to expectations in the bubble so far. Zion has had a strict limit put on his minutes, and after a 23-point loss to the Clippers, New Orleans is 0-2. Playoff hopes dwindled a little bit there. Now look, Paul, we didn't necessarily expect them to beat the Clippers. The Clippers are one of the favorites for the NBA title, but still, is this rough start something, nothing, or everything?
It's everything. For a team scrapping to get into the 8th spot, I expected them to play a little harder than they did. You should never have that problem with a young team such as the Pelicans. That should be the last thing on their mind, them playing hard, regardless of what's going on out there. So that's everything to me, them getting blown out by the Clippers from just effort from what I saw.
Yeah, P, I'm right there with you, Rachel. It's everything. I mean, first of all, I think we got different plans for the Pelicans than what they got for themselves, because the way that they came out the other night against the Clippers, I don't think they trying to make the playoffs. They got a first-round pick this year. They might be trying to tank to get a lottery pick. That's the way it seems. Zion don't look like he's in the best of shape. He's not playing inspiring basketball. His minutes are down. I don't know what the Pelicans are doing. I was betting that they was going to get to the 8th spot or the 9th spot and fight for the 8th spot, but now I don't know what's going on. They might be trying to get the lottery pick now.
Well, it's hard to say. They do have an easier schedule going forward than any other team, and that's based off the fact that they had the easiest schedule going forward when the NBA shut down. So there's still room for them to make up a little bit of time. Portland has a really difficult schedule, although we have seen them be huge fighters, to your guys' point about effort, in their first couple games. Remember, someone only needs to get within 4 games of the Memphis Grizzlies, and if it's more than one team, whatever team is closer to the Memphis Grizzlies will be able to force those play-in games, and then the lower seed would have to win 2 games in a row of a play-in scenario. The upper seed, assuming it's the Grizzlies, would only have to win 1. So we will see how that goes. We did get a possible first-round playoff preview, though, this weekend, and that wasn't very pretty, gentlemen. The Thunder were up 24 on the Jazz at halftime. They cruised to an easy victory. These two teams could easily meet in the first round, given how close 3 through 6 are in the West standings. Now, it's just one game, but Kendrick, is the Thunder beating up on the Jazz something, nothing, or everything?
It's nothing. Listen, it may be something to the rest of the world, but it's nothing to me, because guess who had the Oklahoma City Thunder in the playoffs this year? Right here, Rachel, Mr.
Yes.
Perkins. I had them in the playoffs, so it don't surprise me that they smacked up Utah. The Thunder have a good team. They have an MVP candidate in Chris Paul. They have great young guys with a mixture of old vets and a great center, and they're well coached. So it's nothing to me, because I expect that out of the Thunder.
Well, it's something to me, Perk, because I did not expect this out of the Thunder. One thing you have to say is when you look at the Thunder's roster, they're hard to scout. You know, you look at most teams like the Lakers are like, we got to slow down LeBron and AD. The Bucks, we got to slow down Giannis. Who do you slow down for OKC? Chris Paul can have a big night. Schroeder can have a big night. Gallinari, Kid Gilchrist. I mean, not Kid Gilchrist, but Shea Alexander. You know, these guys are doing it with balance. They're doing it with teamwork, and they're flying under the radar. They're not getting any respect because these guys are balling. They're playing hard every night. That's nothing we have to question about the OKC Thunder.
They're just so much fun to watch. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, Dennis Schroeder, a 6th Man of the Year candidate. He has been great. Now, he did leave the bubble today. His wife was having a baby. He's been talking since he got here about the fact that he'd be making a short exit and coming back. That is an excused absence, so they will not have him for their next game, and they'll have to see when he's able to make it back. Once he does get back, he will have to do 4 days of quarantining in his room, but this was all expected, and I guess getting out of the way before the playoffs start for the Thunder, so we'll move on for them now. I want to get to the Sixers, though, because their new starting lineup is off to a little bit of a bumpy start. Philly had 8 turnovers in the first quarter, which led to a heated exchange between Joel Embiid and Shake Milton. Now, Embiid did go on to score 41 points, and he said later after the game, hey, teammates talk like this all the time. We were just working something out. But the Sixers did not win the game, Paul. Is this little sideline issue something, nothing, or everything?
It's everything. You know, I think the 76ers really lack leadership over there. You know, at times they look like world beaters, and other times they look like they can lose in the first round. And so it's everything to me.
You don't have to ask me, Rachel. You know how I feel about the 76ers. It's everything. The one thing that they have a problem with and that they struggle with is what? Chemistry. So right there, they're showing me there's chemistry problems. Joel Embiid, you have to be a better leader as a franchise player. You have to guide the young fella, not yell at him. He's going to make mistakes. This is a new role for him. He's a starting role with 2 all-stars. Talk to him. Pull him to the side. Don't embarrass him. This is everything to me because Philly is the last team that need to be dealing with these type of issues or having, little disputes on the sideline because they already have chemistry issues already.
It's going to be so interesting to see if this team comes together in the bubble and being together all the time forces them to like each other more, or if it just splinters them apart. We will find out. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.